Welcome back to ShopDog-Garage. I'd be lying if I said this went in with no effort. But, boy, those roller bearings for the pilots, they're always a nightmare to get things lined up. Finally got it. Got it bolted down. Threw a cross member under her. Still got to put the starter in. Just put the oil filter in. We've been trying to kind of tidy up a little bit as I'm going here. So starter's next. Also got O2 sensor. Got to deal with that. Of course, run all the wiring over for the transmission for their sensors. At some point, got to fill her up. It should be. Oh, these are less than 3 quarts, I think. I think they're less than 3 quarts of synchromesh. So have to do that pretty soon. Drive shaft's been ordered. So hopefully that shows up before too long. Should be able to go ahead and seal this top as well. The clutch, I'm happy to report, is quite a bit lighter. So, maybe it worked. I don't know what he feels about it yet. He hasn't been here to try it. Hopefully sometime this week or this weekend he can come try it out. So, let's get some more work done. And every clutch you've ever done in your life always comes with one of these plastic things. Problem is, this doesn't ride the bearing very good, so they can move. That's bad enough when there's 1 disc. There's 2 discs in this. So I actually took my T56 LT1 input shaft and cut it down. I didn't want to do that, but it's what I needed to get that to happen. In the future, I'll make this smoother, drill it, tap it, and then if it's ever stuck, then you'd be able to put a bolt in there and knock her out. But even this was hard to get in and out. That's how snug that bearing is. So that was fun. Alright, to the miracle of time, which I've stolen from Barbecue Pit Boys. Let's see, we've got our O2 sensor. Don't get crazy here. They're service items. Make it so you can get at them. So don't get too crazy on O2s. We've got our VSS. It's nicely wrapped. It's run in front of the shifter here. So we'll deal with that. That's going to get tied up out of the way. Reverse lights. Then you can see the heat sleeving is going right over. And in fact comes out and around. And then once it's down where I can reach it, we'll just do a couple little zippies here. And get it nice and contained. And just like that. It's nice and tidy. And I don't know if you can see in here well enough. Let me get the light moved here. You can see how we're retaining everything. Okay. Car's back on the ground. Let me move the lights. And whoo, gets close, but we don't hit it. Alright. You can see that is a lot easier. So you can feel the bearing, and then there it's pressure plate. There it's open. And part of that, there's a giant spring on that. Hopefully you guys can see that. But the next thing we got to do, get the shifter on there. Let's seal this hole. Alright, that wasn't easy, but we got the RTV on the shifter, got the shifter in, but then got this aftermarket boot on there to keep fumes out, and then I even wrapped it in a little bit more Dynamat just to make sure. Don't want anybody passing out. ShopDog and I are trying to figure out the best way to route everything down to the battery. We're still working on it. One of the other things I got to do is start looking around and see if I've still got some heavy cable for batteries. If I do, it's probably in this gray cart. If not, I'll have to order some cable. Crap, I don't know where all that went. Oh, I'm sure it's over here somewhere. I'll start digging. Alright, ShopDog has warned me that it's getting later than I think it is. We did have neighbor Jeff and Ross dropped by to visit, so that kind of ate a couple minutes. But you can see here's what we're starting to think we're going to be doing here. So I had to go behind the fuel pressure regulator. And I'm going to take one of these holes, and that's going to be a clamp location. And then that's going to give me a nice easy shot right to the starter. I'm worried about the length of this stud. I don't know that I can put a battery cable and the alternator feed and the cab feed to it. So I think I'll play with that before I commit, because if not, I'm going to have a power distribution point up high. So that's going to wrap it up for tonight. That's plenty enough work. Transmission's in and shifting. I'm sorry I didn't film that. There wasn't a practical way for me to film doing that. It involved a lot of shaking and cussing and moving things, because boy, that Pilot really was tight. It was tight even with the other that T56 input shaft. So we're moving ahead. Really want to get this thing kind of all together before winter. Winter is coming fast, so it's one of our concerns here in Minnesota. But you can see we brought all the wiring over. It's following this nicely, coming around, you know, nice and tidy. Really happy with how that came out. Not only is it tidy, but once I put this plate back in, it's also safe. It's protected from anything road debris kicking up. So, alright, Shoppy's ready to go in. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. Please like, comment, and subscribe.